Hi everyone and welcome to my match review of Chelsea vs Man City and my match preview of Vidi vs Chelsea. Our match against City was going to be our toughest test of the season and everybody would have to be at their best for us to get anything out of the game. City started on the forefront as expected, having the majority of possession, winning most of the 50-50s and putting us under real pressure. Therefore forcing us to hit inaccurate passes the few times we did win possession back, and it seemed like they were really tiring us out, as it felt like many of our players were chasing shadows. However, with that being said, our midfield three of Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic were battling hard, as well as David Luiz in defence. David Luiz was winning a lot of headers and putting some fantastic blocks in, as for the first 40 minutes or so Chelsea were in survival mode and it felt as if we were hanging on. What compounded the issue was that whenever pressure was relieved for a short period of time with the ball at Kepa's feet, he would underhit many of his passes, with a lot of them being floated balls which would result in City winning back the ball and putting pressure on us once again. Our attackers were living on scraps. However, David Luiz would ping up a ball upfield which would create our first opportunity, with us scoring against the run of play. The ball from Luiz would be picked up by Willian, who would put in a poor cross, but the ball would end up with Hazard. Hazard would do what he does best and take many of the City defenders out of the game and hit a beautifully weighted ball across the City box. He would then be met by an unlikely of scorers in Kante, who would hit it perfectly. The shot would go between the two City defenders and thunderbolt into the back of the net. The second half would start quite well for Chelsea, as it seemed that having to defend a lead helped us grow in the game. Yes, City would dominate possession once again, but they didn't have clear-cut chances, and David Silva wasn't pulling the string as he usually does, which is why I think he may have been subbed unless he was carrying some sort of injury. His performance kind of summed up City's second half performance, to be honest. Kovacic would later go down injured and would be subbed for Barkley, who would go on to win us a corner. This would be our next breakthrough from the corner, as David Luiz would lose his City marker and glance on a fantastic header into the net to make it 2-0 Chelsea. This was icing on the cake for him, as even without the goal, he'd had a man of the match performance, and in my opinion, one of his greatest performances ever in a Chelsea shirt. He was fighting throughout the game, commanding his defence and leading by example. He was positive in his play and playing the ball forward whenever he had the opportunity. I know some people are critical of him, but I think this was a fundamental reason why he's usually first on Sarri's team sheet. Chelsea would later have a great opportunity to make it 3-0 with a headed effort from Barkley, where had it have gone on target it would have definitely gone in. Kepa would be forced into making some good saves later on in the game, but honestly, as soon as the second goal went in, it always looked like Chelsea had the win in the bag. This game looked like the first City actually missed Kevin De Bruyne, as he was a focal point for them last season when they won at the Bridge. City thought they could come to the Bridge and just get a result against the boys in blue. We think not. Unfortunately, a minority of Chelsea fans didn't do the rest of us proud, and the victory has been somewhat overshadowed by the Sterling incident. It looks as if Sterling was racially abused by a small section of Chelsea fans. If this is the case, those who are found to have racially abused Sterling should get lifetime bans from the club and should be prosecuted against. Yes, in the heat of the moment, people will say negative things towards opposition players, but in this day and age, this kind of behaviour is totally unacceptable and needs to be dealt with immediately. Sterling is just playing football at the end of the day, like every other player on the pitch, and does not deserve to be racially abused when playing football. On to our Europa League game against Vidi. I can most definitely see some rotation in the team, as it has been in the Europa League throughout the season. I can see the likes of Emerson, Zappacosta, Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek coming back into the 11, especially as we qualified. Even though it will be a makeshift 11 for the Blues, I can see us winning the game comfortably 2-0 and maintaining our fantastic record in Europe this season. However, the Europa League will really start in February, you could say, when the big boys from the Champions League drop in and we start facing some real tough opposition. So, that's going to end my match review of Chelsea versus Man City and my match preview of Vidi versus Chelsea. If you like our content, be sure to comment, like, subscribe to CFC Blue TV and support us across our social media channels on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Also, be sure to check out our written match review by checking out our blog. The link will be in the description. Anyway, this is CFC Blue TV. Thanks for watching. However, before you do go, let me leave you with a little something from the City game.